Hey, my name is Brittany Pio, and I'm super excited to have you here today. We're going to learn a little bit about how to use essential oils safely and effectively, so that way you feel empowered to get going with all of the natural solutions that feel good for you in this time, wherever you're at. So basically, I have a slideshow I'm going to share because it's full of great content. It keeps us on track. And it's just nice to see that alongside with the discussion. But I will kind of go back and forth between sharing my screen and just coming back here if we have questions and things like that. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen, but before I do that, I just want to introduce myself. Like I said, my name is Brittany. Most people call me Britt. If you've seen me before on my Instagram, it's Balance Britta. And I have been into essential oils since 2018. I got into doTERRA. So for me, as my background is a massage therapist, I had been introduced to essential oils in massage school. And at that time, I was learning about a lot of different ways to become healthier and to take care of the body and the mind. So I was really fortunate at a young age to be introduced to holistic remedies and ancient traditional Chinese medicine, all this cool stuff. So by the time we learned about essential oils, my brain was getting really full. And they really weren't doing anything for me in that experience, because we've just used kind of generic ones that you'd buy over the counter. That probably had something to do with my lackluster experience. And I always thought, like, there was a lot of safety stuff around it, and it just was a little bit off-putting to me. And I was like, well, if anything, like, it seems safer than burning candles in a massage room because, candles have a flame. So I just put it in the back of my brain, wasn't there for it. And then in 2018, I was doing really well in my massage practice. I just had started teaching massage at SUNY Morrisville, and I was asked to have an essential oil class at my house. So I was super excited, having a direct sale type of party in my home. And I didn't know what to expect other than, we got to smell some essential oils. So long story short with that, I knew there was something different about these oils. And my friends and I all purchased like pretty big kits because we were ready to up level everything in our life when it comes to like cleaning products. And we knew at that point that maybe candles weren't the best option to make our houses smell good, or the plugins, and just learning about the health repercussions of that from that oil class, but also just start to hear things and see things, on the internet. And we knew, or I knew anyways, just that whatever was making things, smell like cotton candy or the woods or whatever was actually synthetic and man-made versus just coming right from nature, from plants. So I was intrigued for sure. Dove in with a starter kit, which I'll talk about at the end of the class. And I was just ready to clean up my house, clean up my life. And it really quickly trickled into me sharing with my clients, sharing with other people, because I was seeing the effects that the oils had on my mood. And I was noticing the health of my animals improve. Now, mind you, I had a plug-in in every room. I had candles going constantly. I was using super toxic cleaning products, body products, all of that. And I always tried to do the more like natural ones, which now I've learned a lot of companies greenwash, where they make a product on the packaging look a lot safer and more natural than it actually is. And I don't know who I heard this from the first time, but like arsenic is natural, like that comes from the earth. So just because something says it's natural or organic doesn't mean that it's the best thing we should be putting in our homes or on our bodies or consuming or whatever the case. So I was excited for myself, but if you know me at all, like I have a hard time keeping my mouth shut. And I was just really excited to share with people all the new things I was learning about oils and cleaning up your home and making this a really affordable, effective way of doing things. Because it can be a little bit of a sticker shock when you first see essential oils. I know, at least for me, I was like just surprised by it. Even seeing prices at places like health food stores like Peter's Cornucopia, like, you know that the oils are a little more expensive than like buying a candle or something. Sometimes some candles can be really expensive. So I'm just going to get right into it, share how you can safely and effectively use essential oils, why we pick doTERRA over other companies, why I've decided to partner with them. I really wholeheartedly trust them. I've done the research, so you don't have to unless you want to. I also really like to make this a lifestyle. So you'll see that the oils are amazing, but they're not the end all be all. And that's really what I've always known with massage therapy too, is that you can go and get massages, but if you're not doing the work for yourself outside of that 60-minute session or whatever, you're not going to have profound, amazing results if you're eating junk food and not moving your body and you've got a house full of toxic cleaners and you're not doing things for your mental health and taking time for yourself and to assess how you're handling stress and like all these things. Like oils, massage, both can be amazing, get you to where you want to go, but they're like Band-Aids. And if the foundation isn't great, then that's all they're going to serve the purpose of. So I'm going to share some effective, affordable ways to bring essential oils and doTERRA into your life. And if there's like any questions along the way, leave them in the chat box. Just stop and interrupt me. I'm totally fine with that. And if you're watching the recording and you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or to whoever shared this with you. Here we go. So like I said, I have been into doTERRA essential oils since 2018. I decided to become a wellness advocate in 2019. I am so grateful that I had oils through the pandemic, but not just oils, the community that comes along with doTERRA. So in our team, there's me alongside of other women and professionals that have this love of a lifestyle that is more natural and aligned with our values, and to be a part of that community of like-minded people who just want the best for themselves and everybody else. It is so empowering and great. And I know that like times were tough during the last 2 years, but I didn't feel like I skipped a beat. And I had that community, I had these people to lean in with. And like, yeah, a lot of it was virtual, but we were able to still get together as much as we could. And whether we were just coming together for dinner or to talk shop or to do DIY stuff, like it was amazing. And I'm super grateful for that. And I would love to have you as a part of that community. That's also something that's included with being a doTERRA customer is support, not just from me and whoever introduced you to it here, but also you have access to our private education communities. And it's just a great place to hang out and to be around other people who are interested, obviously, in the same kind of stuff. I already introduced myself, but if you want to find me on Instagram or Facebook, I love to hang out, share information there, and just give you all the tips and tricks for living your best life. I also have a private massage therapy practice in New Hartford, New York. So if you're local and you're looking for a new massage therapist or anything like that, I take clients Thursdays through Saturdays currently. So today we're just going to focus on 3 cool things about oils, 3 ways to use them, 3 ways to buy them, and the 3 different pathways with doTERRA that you can take. Again, it's not just about using the oils. It's all about creating this foundation to live your best life. So eating right, exercising, sleep and managing stress, reducing toxic load, informing yourself about self-care, and then proactive medical care, things like physicals, and making sure that you are checking in with your physical and mental body, that you're working with a professional who has your best interests in mind. And so often, with our standard American diet, our SAD diet, things can come up from physical health to mental health, even spiritual health. I know for me in the last few years, with just really improving what I am consuming and right down to the content I'm consuming, I've just allowed myself to flourish in all of those avenues. And I know it wouldn't have been possible without doTERRA. Like, that was the gateway for me to realize that a lot of the mainstream conventional products that we use, they don't have our best interests in mind. That's just how it is. I've heard like anything that needs to be advertised on a television commercial, stay away from. And then when it comes down to it, like, we just think because we've used these products our whole life that like, that's just what we go to. Our parents use them, our grandparents use them. But a couple things here. One, stuff is made differently now. It's more toxic. The fragrance is loaded in with a lot of these products that we use that like our grandparents, when they were using them, like didn't have that. And when we know better, we do better. And a lot of times we think like we need like this name brand that we're just super familiar with to get the best results, when in reality, there are some much more natural things that we can do and use that are even more effective. I also know that even sometimes with companies with good intentions of selling cleaner and greener stuff, what happens is they are not aware of maybe all of the processes happening with like middlemen type of stuff. So maybe they have really great intentions, but if they don't know exactly what's going on in the manufacturing process, then we cut corners, make things cheaper, make things even more toxic, because maybe that does make them more effective. But then what's the repercussion, and what are we putting in our homes, our pets are walking on, our kids are playing on? And so with that being said, I've just really learned over the last couple of years to just question everything and to just not be okay with going along with the mainstream if it doesn't feel right for you. And just because that's what we grew up around doesn't mean we can't do better now. I know for me, like, if my parents and grandparents had been exposed to this, like, they would have been on board with it, but they just knew what they knew too. And it was no thing. Like, if you weren't feeling good, you popped an Advil, you grab the bright red cough syrup. We use whatever conventional products to clean our house, ate whatever name brand chips or fast food. And like, that was just what we did because that's all we ever knew. And so getting exposed to this lifestyle with doTERRA has just allowed me to realize that it is totally okay to question everything, and that the stuff and the products that we grew up with, it's okay to let them go. And as we know better, we do better. And reducing toxic load was a big deal for me and how I wanted to live my life. And I felt like I was kind of living this life of it wasn't very authentic. I was wanting to be as natural as possible, but I was still taking synthetic prescription drugs like birth control. I was using toxic products in my home to clean with, and I was burning the candles and all the stuff. And I'm like, this just is not in alignment with how I want to be. I want to get as back to nature as possible, live simply, less stuff. Like all these things are happening, and I am just truly grateful for doTERRA coming into my life when it did, and not in 20 years from now or something. So just kind of noticing into how you feel and how you want to feel, and just knowing that this high optimized state is where we all have access. We all have access to be here. We all deserve and are worthy of having energy, feeling great, hardly ever getting sick, being flexible physically and emotionally, to feel like we don't have any brain fog. Our skin looks great, just to be in your truth. And anything else that comes up, just knowing with all of this, it is temporary. It's all temporary. And there is a lot that we can do to reverse or slow down maybe these processes that seem more negative. So just notice where you're at now and where you want to go. So what you want to feel less of and what you want to feel more of. And this is usually just a great way to get super clear for yourself of like how essential oils can work best for you. So 3 cool things about oils. They're super safe. So remember how I said there was like all the safety stuff around essential oils when I was learning about them in massage school? Well, guess what? There is so little you have to worry about when it comes to doTERRA. Because they are third-party tested, they're better than organic when it comes to quality. There's no fillers, nothing artificial. And so that's a lot of times why you have to worry about these other brands of essential oils. Peppermint, lemon, these oils we can consume. If you look up and see next to peppermint, it says ATI. That means we can use it aromatically, topically, internally. I'll talk more about that later, but it's funny because I go into Aldi's and I see like a lemon essential oil, and right on it, it says you cannot consume it. If you swallow it, call poison control. That's very alarming to me. Why, if something is just lemon, do you need to call poison control? It's because it's not just lemon. So with peppermint, this is a great example because 1 drop of peppermint, if you have some at home right now or you've been sampled, you would just put a drop right on your hands, just 1 drop on your hand. Try not to get it on your fingertips because that's the thing. We don't ever want essential oils to end up in our eyeballs or inside of our ears. So we just want to be mindful that we don't get the oils on our fingertips and then touch our eyes later. So I love to rub peppermint on the back of my neck. I sometimes will get neck tension and it just feels good. If you run hot or you have like that tension going on, peppermint is very cooling and it can help with inflammation. It's also great for digestive problems. So if I ever have something going on there, I can just do a drop on my belly and rub clockwise circles because that's the digestion flow. We want it to go clockwise. Great to rub on your temples if you have a headache in the front of your head. I love to just breathe it in and it opens up your airways so nice. And then if you have any left, which you should have still a little on your hand, you can just swipe on the top of your mouth, the roof of your mouth, to freshen your breath. And it's also great. I know, like if I have coffee and then a massage client a couple minutes later, I'm like, grab a peppermint. On the inside of your mask, if you have to wear a mask, a little bit of peppermint, just swipe it across and on your mask. You don't even need a whole drop because it's just so potent. You can see 1 drop is equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. That's how potent and pure these oils are. And that's why you only need 1 drop at a time. So mints, citruses are very energizing. Like I said, like the lemon oil too. It just promotes that clear breathing. It just helps open up everything in the respiratory system. If you're somebody who struggles with just taking a nice deep breath, or maybe you have asthma or some other stuff going on, then you're going to want to reach for your peppermint. What else was I going to say with these? Oh, so you'll see the CPTG, which means they're certified pure, therapeutic, or tested grade. And doTERRA invites any other essential oil company to call themselves that, but they're the only ones that do, because they are completely transparent with the entire process of everything from how the oils or the plants are grown, and then how they're distilled into essential oils and bottled. There's no middleman, so we don't need to worry about any sort of adultering happening. I'll also say, like, that's why you'll never see them on the shelves of Target or Walmart or Amazon or whatever, because those companies, once they sell a product, they also have rights to change up the product. And I always notice that, like, if you buy like Tide from the Dollar General versus Target, it is different quality. Not that I buy Tide anymore, but back when I did. So you're getting all of the benefits from the plants. Nature and plants have been around a lot longer than we have, and our bodies know what to do with the oils because they are just the immune system of a plant. That's how essential oils work. That's why we get that part and extract the essential part of the plant, because that's their immune system and it works with our body to promote ultimate health. And oils themselves are adaptogenic, and that they know what our bodies need. So you don't need to worry about that. Like, they are smart enough and complex enough to work with our body and give us what we need for balance or homeostasis in our body. So I love peppermint. It's just a great example of how to use the oils all three ways, like we did. Breathing it in, putting it on our skin, and then having it internally. It's a very versatile oil to have, and it can just help with a lot of different things. Our oils are also really effective. So like that one drop is super potent. How they work is essential oils, because they are complex constituents, they talk with our cells and they're able to permeate through the cell membrane. So if something is like clunky and synthetic, our cells in our body are not going to let them in. But these plants talk with our cells, they have a relationship with each other, and they are able to permeate through the cell membrane and work to clean up and leave behind a healthy cell. So when you think of something like viral, and usually a doctor says, there's nothing we can do other than go home and have fluids and rest. Well, we can also use essential oils like our blend On Guard, which has clove and cinnamon and wild orange, which are all loaded with antioxidants, high quality, high, why can't I think of the word? They're more effective. They're antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial. So they work with our cells and with our whole body to clean up what's already there. And when you think of like bacteria and taking antibiotics, there's always a place for Western medicine, but unfortunately we're just overprescribed antibiotics. And so when we use essential oils in place of that, they are able to clean up the bacteria and leave the good bacteria behind, because so often that's when we end up with those gut problems, yeast infections, and whatever else comes of side effects from taking antibiotics. And with essential oils, there are no side effects, just side benefits. So they're super safe and effective. There's some things you're going to want to know, like as far as ratios go, and doing a little more research when you're using them with kids or pets. And I'll get into that a little bit more later on. And On Guard that I have up on the screen, that's a blend. So like I said, it's got the clove, cinnamon, wild orange. It smells like fall. It's great to diffuse. But we have these curated blends that are there for you to take that guesswork out of making your blends, because I know it can be a little bit confusing and daunting, and then you feel like you need to buy all these different oils where some of them are just already ready to go and blended for us, and On Guard's an example of that. So how I use On Guard is I love to diffuse it in the middle of the day, like late afternoon when we come in the house. So often when we're out in public or whatever else, and we're getting exposed to different people and germs and all of that, we come in and it's on our clothes, it's on our hair, it's on our skin. And so when you're diffusing On Guard, you're really just neutralizing the air, and you're helping your body promote the healthy immune function because it's just loaded with all those antioxidants. If I feel like I have like a sore throat coming on, or that like just early on signs of sickness, I will put a drop of On Guard in some warm or hot water and just kind of have it like a tea. Sometimes I'll add in a drop of lemon, or I'll squeeze some fresh lemon juice in, and it just really works to coat my throat. Since I started using oils, I really don't get sick anymore. And I just think, one, it's because I'm living this healthier lifestyle. Two, I have these tools that I can just reach to when I feel those first signs come on and just be super proactive, versus like what I used to do was wait to be sick, then go to the drugstore, stock up on cough syrup and NyQuil and Dayquil and cough drops, and then just like deal with it after that. Like now I'm much more proactive if I know something's coming on. There's an entire On Guard line too. So we have cleaning products, the cleaner concentrate. I love that. And it's super affordable. I think you pay $13 for the concentrate, and you only use like 2 tablespoons at a time. Put it in a spray bottle. It's great for on all your surfaces. There's some really cool studies out there showing like Lysol compared to On Guard and how On Guard is more effective. Like I said, we just know better, or we do better when we know better. And so often we just think the products we used growing up are the best ones out there, when in reality, there's more natural versions. So you can see, you can make your own cleaners. On Guard also has a zinc supplement that's a chewable zinc tab, and it has vitamin C in it. So that's a great way to stay proactive with your immune system. You also can use the drops. So there's 2 different drops of On Guard. One are these little beadlets, and you take them and pop them in your mouth, and it's just half a drop of On Guard. It's a great thing to give to kids to help boost their immune system. I like to just use them in place of like chewing gum, or again, like if I feel like I have something coming on, or I just want to be proactive. And then there's also like a cough drop version of On Guard too, which is nice to just coat your throat. And we have that in the Breathe blend as well. So essential oils, they are able to interact with our cells, leave behind the healthy cells, clean up whatever cells have been affected, and not just wipe out your whole bacteria system, because we know we need some of that bacteria to help with digestion, to keep our immune system strong. And we are made up of a ton of bacteria. We're more bacteria than we are human or water or anything else. So it's important that we're leaving behind that good bacteria. And I know there's like a time and a place for antibiotics and conventional medicine, but unfortunately, often we're just overprescribed. And I've heard it can take anywhere from 3 months to 2 years to even longer to get that healthy bacteria built back up after you've been on an antibiotic. So it's not to say it's here to totally replace our conventional medicine system, but it's just a great thing that we can use in conjunction with what we're already doing, or maybe steer away from a little bit. And then obviously drops, 1 drop of essential oil gets you super far. Like if you tried it with the peppermint, so it comes down to just pennies per drop or even less. So you can see that breakdown. It's literally 1/8 of a penny for a drop of peppermint when you do the math. So I love that about it. I'm always here for saving money, I also really value high quality products and I'm willing to spend it. And it is an initial investment, but then when you realize there's so much you can DIY with, that you get a ton of value for your oils, what you're getting. And are we healthier? Like, we're spending more money in this country on healthcare than any other country in the world. But I think we could argue we're not the healthiest country in the world. When it comes to obesity, heart disease, cancer, we start to look at the COVID stuff and just how obesity affected that. Like, we are not in a good place health-wise as a country. So if you think of it from a perspective of, if you have these tools in your home that can save you a trip to the drugstore, or a trip to urgent care because you can use lavender for burn relief, versus going to urgent care. Now, there's going to be times, that we still need that modern medical system, but how empowering is it to use these in your medicine cabinet and use these with your kids, and then you don't have to run to the doctors every time you need relief or something like that. So for me, I'm like, I'm paying $25 just as a copay, right, to walk in a doctor's office, not to mention like whatever else comes of that. So if you can save yourself a couple of visits a year, I just think it's totally worth it. I know a lot of us want to lean in more with the natural, and you don't have to worry about like side effects or things like that. That sometimes we really have to be concerned with when it comes to more modern and conventional stuff. So super affordable, super safe, and effective. The ways that we use oils. So we can use our oils aromatically. I'm sure you've seen a diffuser before. You don't need to buy your diffuser from doTERRA, but I will say I've bought in a ton of diffusers over the years, and the ones that I've gotten from doTERRA do seem to last the longest and hold up and really fill up the room that I'm in. I now have a diffuser in every room in my house, but I don't even need to have them all going to smell them throughout my house. Usually if I have one on, I can smell it in my whole house, or in my office, wherever I'm at. So just make sure your oils come from doTERRA. Diffusers can be wherever, but I will say the quality that you see here is just usually a little bit better. And so how diffusers work is you put a couple drops of oil in, usually anywhere from like 3 to 5 of your essential oil, top the diffuser with water, plug it in and let it run. You don't have to worry about it, tipping over and burning your house down. It's not putting off anything synthetic. Like, candles are made from synthetic fragrance. Even if they're made with essential oils, they're probably not doTERRA essential oils. Sometimes like everything from the wick to the wax can be really toxic. And then when you add heat to it, like the flame, it becomes even more toxic. So we just want to be mindful and aware of like what we're bringing into our home. I know for me, I've seen a big shift with the skin quality of my dog since we stopped burning candles. And it took me a while to realize that like, that's probably why his skin was clearing up. And I don't feel guilty or bad because I didn't know any better before. But each year we would deal with different ailments with his skin, and that just has not been the case since we stopped burning candles. And I'm like, there's gotta be a connection there. So you can diffuse with the plug-in diffusers and water. We also have other diffusers that are passive, where they're like these terracotta stones that you could just do a couple drops on. That's nice for like on a small space or like on your office desk if you don't have an extra plug. I've got ones like that in my car as well. That's a side tip too. Like, if you suffer from road rage, put essential oils in your car in some way, roller bottles to put on your wrists while you're going through. You can also just use your oils just by smelling and breathing them in. That's also a way that you can get the benefits from oils. I just find that like the sustained effect of diffusing, you can really change the mood of your home, and it makes it more inviting. I like to use uplifting smells like citruses, like wild orange and peppermint mixed together. Actually, I'd like to do 2 drops of wild orange, 2 drops of peppermint, and 2 drops of frankincense in the morning. It's just very uplifting, but you get the grounding vibes with the frankincense at the same time. So I like those uplifting oils in the morning, little On Guard in the afternoon to help with whatever germs we brought in the house for the day. And then at night, I like really grounding, calming oils like lavender, the pine or any sort of tree oils are really nice at night. I didn't talk about Adaptive because I think that's in a later slide, but Adaptive is the mental health blend. And that one is really nice to diffuse for like work from home, school from home, like keep you focused and alert, but calm at the same time. Breathe is another good one to diffuse because of its respiratory benefits. So I love to diffuse Breathe at night, and I mix it in with like a little lavender or vetiver or Serenity, which is a lavender blend. And when I diffuse Breathe, my husband does not snore. And I've experimented with this. So now like I don't even travel. We don't stay in a hotel without a diffuser because my quality of sleep and his is so much better when we're diffusing Breathe. So I also like to rub Breathe on my chest if I'm having any feelings of anxiety or like I just can't breathe. For me, like my anxiety shows up really heavy on my chest. So I am just going to share this slide with you. It's pretty, there's a lot of information here. So if you want to just take a screenshot, you can. And it just kind of goes into like why you would use different oils from tree oils, floral, and citrus to help with your mood and how it works in our brain. So when we smell an oil, our olfactory nerves turn on, and in the brain, it's right near the area in our brain where memories and emotions occur. So that's why like certain smells can trigger like a certain memory or feeling, why it can put you in a really bad mood if something stinks, or why you can feel really good when you smell something amazing like chocolate chip cookies, and then you're like right back in your grandmother's kitchen with your memories. So not only does it have that emotional response, but it's all intertwined. So when we're in a more relaxed state, digestion is going to be better. We have just our heart rate, our breathing rate changes. So all of the organs are affected, even the skin, all just from that olfactory nerve turning on. So I think that's really interesting. And if you can nerd out on the brain stuff, it all makes a lot of sense. You can also use your oils topically. So if you're going to use them topically, especially when you're first starting out, just always dilute them with a carrier oil. So you can use like fractionated coconut oil. We have that through doTERRA. You can also find that on other websites like Amazon. You're just going to want to make sure that it's a high quality fractionated coconut oil. So again, with doTERRA, we can just always know that it's safe, but I do know like you can buy good quality ones from other places. With that being said, like if you ever see doTERRA on Amazon, just know that it's really easy to replace the caps with brand new ones. They've taken like even Deep Blue, which is our muscle rub. And you can see there's an oil version of that on the screen, but I've got the muscle rub in my hand. They've taken ones they bought from doTERRA and ones they bought from Amazon, put them side by side, and you can just tell even by looking at it that it's been like diluted or altered. So you really don't know what you're getting if you're buying doTERRA on Amazon. And unfortunately, there's people out there that are looking to make a buck and will mess with doTERRA and sell it on Amazon. So just because you're getting a doTERRA bottle, if it's not coming directly from your wellness advocate, you cannot feel safe that you're getting what you're paying for. So topically, again, dilute with the fractionated coconut oil while you're using it on your skin. especially in the beginning. Some of the oils like oregano or cinnamon can just be hot, and they're hot on your skin. So we want to dilute them. We actually get more sustained benefits because we're diluting them in a fatty carrier oil, so it hangs out and lasts on our skin even longer. You get a lot more out of your essential oils too. Like if you're just opening it up and using a drop every time versus making a roller bottle and then you're able to roll it on your wrists or behind your ears, it's just going to make your oils last a lot longer. I didn't do roller bottles at first, and I went through my oils really quickly. So I learned to appreciate and make my own rollers. You can buy them pre-made from doTERRA as well, but it is just a way more cheaper to do it yourself in the beginning. And then you get a lot more out of them. So Deep Blue is typically the gateway oil for guys who are skeptics or people who are skeptics in general, because it helps a lot with muscle and joint pain. It's got wintergreen and helichrysum in it, and helichrysum has been known for really repairing and restoring the tissue, not just like putting this cream or oil on it to just like soothe and make you feel like tingly or the coolness. It's actually working at those tissues to restore them back to their natural state. You can put essential oils directly on the bottom of your feet if you're an adult, because our feet are covered with these huge pores. They absorb the essential oils really well. And also our feet are durable and sturdy. They can handle essential oils neat or straight up on our feet. But like I said, diluting them and using them on other places of your body, sometimes that makes more sense. You can pull up a reflexology chart, just quick Google that, and it shows you where all of the organs and nerve endings are on the bottom of your feet. So you've probably seen that like in a nail salon before, and you can just put your essential oils on your feet based on like where you want those benefits to show up. So if like you're dealing with something with your stomach, put it on the center of your foot where that stomach point is, and you can do it that way. You could put it directly on your stomach if you want that as well. Just make sure you're diluting. You're going to want to look up ratios for kids and pets just to make sure that we're doing it as safe as possible. And they just need less than us. Like if you have a bigger dog or a small Chihuahua, like you'd use way less essential oils. Same with babies, toddlers, children. And I can point you in the right direction for resources on that. Speaking of resources, there's some really great essential oil books out there. Modern Essentials is one of my favorite. The Essential Life is another good one. You can get those on Amazon, or I can send you links from other affiliates for those. They're really great because they're going to give you why you need certain oils for like what conditions. And then with the oils that you have, it's going to go into like great DIY recipes and different uses than maybe you're even thinking that you could use them for. So really important to be empowered with resources to use your essential oils. Like I said, you still get me and access to our online education, but it's great to have this stuff right at your fingertips. There's also an app you can download called Modern Essentials. I think it's like $5 and you've got it forever. Digest Zen is another great blend if you have any sort of upset stomach, constipation, heartburn. And again, you can apply that topically, or you can take it like as a tea in your water. Just make sure if you're taking your oils, oh, here's a reflexology chart. And just make sure if you're taking your oils internally that they say supplemental facts on the bottle. So some of them, like Deep Blue, it's not recommended that we take that internally, mostly because it has wintergreen in it. And wintergreen works like Advil, but it thins your blood. So you just wouldn't want to like take a bunch of that internally. So like lemon, peppermint, On Guard, Digest Zen, they all say right on the bottle, supplemental fats, like you'd see on any sort of like food label. So that just means you can take it internally. If you're going to take it internally, you can use a veggie cap, which we sell those You get like 200 of them for $5. You can go ahead and open them up and drip your oils into that veggie cap. You can also drink it in your water or tea. Just make sure you're using glass, metal, ceramic, not plastic. Because plastic is toxic and it will break down the container. So you can also cook with essential oils. I know that's not on here, but I've used the herb oils in place of herbs. Like if I'm out of oregano or basil, and I actually just kind of like the taste of them now better than the dried herbs. So if I don't have fresh, that's what I go to. But the oils are potent, right? So you really don't need a lot and experiment. Sometimes I'll just take a toothpick and put that in the end of the oil bottle and swirl it in my sauce or whatever I'm making. I've used lime in place of squeezing a lime for like things like guacamole. Comes out really good. And I love to just drink the citrus oils in my water. This month, actually, in February, everybody has access for any 200 PV order to get 4 free citrus oils: grapefruit, clementine, tangerine, and wild orange. So that's a $70 value for free this month. And if you struggle with drinking water, I highly suggest putting a drop of citrus in. It's just going to make your water taste super yummy, and you're getting the cleansing benefits. Our liver and gallbladder love citrus, and those are 2 of our major detox organs in our body. And typically as women, we're just exposing ourselves, whether it's through makeup or different body products, to a ton of toxins. And so we need that support with the cleansing benefits of the citrus oils. Lemon is a great degreaser. It's good for getting like stickers off of stuff. It's just got those like very cleansing properties. So I go through about a bottle of lemon a month when it just comes to drinking it in my water in the morning. I love to drink it in warm water, just a drop, and it's great for getting digestion going, getting hydrated first thing in the morning, feeling really cleansing. And sometimes like the juice of a lemon can be really acidic, and it can actually, like, after a long time of doing like half of a juice of lemon in your water, it can be abrasive on your teeth. Whereas the citrus oils come from the rind of the lemon, so you're not getting those acidic properties. It's just the immune system happens to be in the rind. So kind of like thinking of the zest of a lemon. So if a recipe calls for lemon zest, you can use your lemon oil in place of it. And I did mention frankincense before, and frankincense is one of the most studied essential oils, especially around cancer and essential oils. And it has anti-inflammatory properties. It's able to break through to the blood-brain, through the blood-brain barrier. So it can help with mental health if you have a family history of dementia. If you struggle with just memory in general, doing a drop of frankincense sublingually or under your tongue can just really help support brain health, immune system. I like to do this a couple of times throughout the day, like morning and night when I brush my teeth. And I do notice a difference when I'm taking frankincense regularly. And it's just been around forever. I mean, it's mentioned in the Bible multiple times. It's made from a resin of the boswellia trees. So people ask, why is frankincense so expensive? And it's just the way that it's extracted and made. It has a very meticulous process, and it comes from a part in the world where we haven't destroyed it yet with manufacturing and industrialization, all of that good stuff. So, if you think about that compared to like growing a lemon, it's just a lot more of an intricate process. So that's how you can enjoy your oils internally. Just keep in mind that you always want to make sure that it says supplemental facts. And maybe you're not feeling called to taking oils internally, and that's totally fine, because whatever you put on your skin does get in your bloodstream in about 20 seconds. So just keep that in mind with everything. So just to recap, these are the 3 ways that you can use essential oils: aromatically, topically, and internally. And the oils that are up on the screen are just some of the common oils I recommend people get started with, because you are able to really encompass things from like mind and mood, digestion, cleaning up your home and like the toxic products we're using, pain relief. So this is just a great way to get started, a great list to get started with, because there are hundreds of oils, but you don't need all of them to get all of the amazing benefits. These are just some great ones to get started with that I've mentioned so far today. And it all comes down to the foundation. So essential oils are great, but if the nutrition is lacking, essential oils can only go so far. And unfortunately, with our soil and the world that we live in, even if we're eating super healthy, our food is just not as nutrient dense as it once was. So I highly recommend the supplements. They're doTERRA's #1 selling product. They have a 30-day money back guarantee. So if you're not like fully in love with them, you can send them back. I've never had anybody send them back. I think it's also important to know that companies, just like with essential oils, they don't need to be transparent. There's no FDA regulation around it. So they can literally like tell you this is what it is, this is what it says on the label, and it does not have to have that in there. So the same standards are here with the supplements. Everything is third-party tested and it comes from doTERRA. So we can fully trust them. I started taking the supplements back in 2019. I saw a huge improvement with my mind and my mood, my attitude. I went from like excruciating pain every month with my period and just not being like I said in the beginning, like I wanted to get off of birth control and all of that. So when I did, my body just got really wonky after being on it for 10 years. And my periods were super painful. And I was just like, whatever, this is just my life now. I have to accept it. And the first month that I took these for the full month, I was due to get my period and I wasn't getting those cramps, those mood side effects that I would get. And I'm like, I was kind of freaked out. Like I thought I wasn't going to get it. And then it came and it was okay. Like it really wasn't that bad. And I've had that experience ever since where, I mean, once in a great while, I'll have a cramp maybe for like one day now. Before it was like I was down and out for a whole week. Not to mention my mood was off for the whole week before. So that is where I'm at in my life. Like that was my biggest like health concern as far as that went. And I was shocked and a huge believer after that in high quality supplements, because when our body gets what we need, we're going to be in that balanced homeostasis place. So like it's not normal to have painful periods. It's common, but it's not normal. It's also like a lot of things in our life are common, like poor digestion. Like you don't need to be constipated. That is not normal. It's just common. So a lot of times our food isn't giving us what we need, even if we're eating super healthy. Same thing with essential oils, right? Like it's overwhelming and there's a lot of information in the beginning. You don't even know where to start. I felt that way with supplements. I'd walk into a health food store. You look at this huge aisle. It's like, what do I need? Do I need all of it? Like, how do you even know? So these are curated in a way to give us our omega, which is great for muscle and joint health, our skin health, our heart and our brain and our immune system. Like if you've done your research around omegas, we know they're really effective for us. This comes from Land and Sea, but if you are vegan, there is a vegan option. They also have an option if you don't want the bottles. They'll come just in a little piece of plastic and they're all ready to go, which actually uses less plastic than the bottles. So if you're worried about that, I would get the pre-packaged one that are up here in the top left-hand corner. There's the vegan one. Sometimes I switch back and forth. I don't see a major difference myself in them, but I know that because they come from doTERRA, the non-vegan, the regular ones, they use really sustainable practices. They're not filled with like mercury and toxic fish. So just keep that in mind. Your Microplex VMZ is basically like the superfood blend. So you're getting kale and dandelion and spinach, and like it is what it is. It's just a powdered form of that. It's not some like man-made stuff that our body doesn't know what to do with. So that's just going to be great to give us all those essential vitamins and nutrients that we need. I forgot to mention the Omega has clove and frankincense and thyme already in it, along with these other essential oils that are listed. So you're getting those daily benefits of frankincense and clove and all those great essential oils. And then the Alpha CRS is good on a cellular level. It helps protect our DNA. It increases our cell reproduction and our oxygen to the brain. So that one is also loaded with frankincense and turmeric, CoQ10, which has been studied a ton for brain health. And so this is just a great high quality line of supplements. They're designed to take all three together twice a day. But when you start off, start off slow, maybe you only take them once a day. And so like where I'm at now, I've been taking these for a couple of years. So I take supplements about 5 days a week. That's what works for me. Sometimes I take the full dose. Most of the time I take the full dose, but sometimes I don't. And I feel like now I've just been taking them for so long, like they're in my system, they're good to go. That's what works for me. I also know people that like, they need them all the time, every day, twice a day. But I'm a healthy 30-year-old and I get away with like 5 days a week. So we're all different. And I can work with you so you know what dose is best for you and just tuning in with your body to know when you've met that. So when it comes to purchasing essential oils, again, I told you, I try to be as savvy and as smart as possible to make these as affordable as possible. So you never want to buy retail. You always want to get wholesale. So that's going to be 25% off no matter what you buy from doTERRA. That's the same price that I pay. And you get that by becoming a member. So normally it's $35 to be a member, and that includes the education and that 25% off discount anytime you want to order. You just log into doTERRA with your email. You don't need to do this as a business, but if you're feeling called to, definitely stay on and I can help you out with that. If you want below wholesale, you're going to want to enroll with a starter kit. That waives the $35 membership fee. You'll continue to get that 25% discount. You have the ability to earn free products and earn shipping reward points on everything that you purchase. So these are my 3 favorite kits. I wish I started with this kit because I quickly got all of these products. Like I wanted to swap out like my toxic toothpaste and my hand soaps and all the things. So this includes all the oils that you see on the screen. You also get the cute box to put them in, the deep blue rub. You get a bottle of fractionated coconut oil to make your own roller balls. You get the whole line of supplements that I shared, the Lifelong Vitality, a diffuser, hand lotion, and it's an unscented hand lotion. So the idea is you can add in and hand and body lotion. So you can add in your own essential oils and make a custom scent. You'll also get a couple of really exclusive products like our version of Neosporin, which is Correct X. That stuff works amazing. The digestive enzyme Breathe in the stick, so you can roll it on like Vicks, kind of like it's the same consistency. It's almost like a deodorant consistency, and you can roll that Breathe right on your chest. You'll get the probiotic, the hand sanitizer. Like I wish I got this kit in the beginning. You save almost $300. Plus, with our citrus promo this month, you're going to end up with 5 additional free oils: Citrus Bliss, grapefruit, wild orange, tangerine, and clementine. So you're getting a great bonus in with that. So if you're feeling called to swapping it all out, like I said, this is one of my only regrets when it comes to doTERRA is that I just wish I got this in the beginning because you do save quite a bit, and it's all stuff you're going to want in your home. The Home Essentials Kit is great if you are just feeling called to the essential oils today. You'll still get that citrus promo that I mentioned, and you'll get these 10 oils in the full size 15 ml bottles. So you'll get about 250 drops in each. The Deep Blue is in a smaller bottle. That's just the only way it comes. You'll also have Adaptive in here, which is the mental health blend. Copaiba or Copaiba, which is the nicer sister of CBD. So you'll get, Copaiba has the endocannabinoid system within it. So what that is it works just like CBD or THC does in our body, but there's no psychoactive effects. There's no trace of THC or CBD in this. So if like drug testing is something that's a concern for you, we can use both of those in our lifestyles, but doTERRA's answer to CBD was extracting high quality copaiba from trees in Brazil, because they would not be able to make an affordable CBD at the essential oil level. It would be almost, they said, a couple $100 for a bottle of it. Because a lot of times when you buy CBD, you're getting a diluted version of CBD, and hemp plant itself has a big variability in it and potency. So it was just like, they knew they couldn't safely and affordably create it. So they're like, let's look at other plants that have similar properties. And copaiba resin from these trees in Brazil have similar properties. So if you struggle with anything inflammatory, mind and mood, copaiba is a great answer to that. Plus you'll get all the other oils that were mentioned today and on the screen. Balance is the only one I didn't mention. So that's just a really grounding blend full of tree oils, frankincense, lavender, blue tansy. It smells really nice. I love to mix it with Adaptive, and we call that liquid Xanax when you mix those two together. And then the Healthy Habits Kit is great if you're feeling called towards the supplements. You'll also get our probiotic, digestive enzyme, these 5 essential oils, and Deep Blue. So you can always add on a diffuser to these. You can customize and add on to any of the kits. But this one might be good too if you already have a diffuser at home and you want to try the supplements. So you can get an additional savings if you sign up for LRP, which is the Loyalty Rewards Program. This is a bonus option. It's optional, so you don't have to do it. But if you are on LRP, you pick the day that you want your customized wellness box shipped to you. You get to customize it each month. It sends you a text message reminder. So this is just a great way if you have a huge list and you want it all, to spread it out and have additional savings. So now that I've been in it for over a year, I get 30% back each month. So if I spend $100 on oils, I get 30 points to use towards product the next month. So basically, if there's a $30 oil, I'll get it for free. I just have to pay shipping, and then I've got my oil. So I like to save those points up. And then if I have a more expensive one like frankincense or rose, then I don't feel as bad about buying it if I use my points. So I can explain how LRP works. It is an optional program. If you wanted to do the monthly auto ship, you can cancel it at any time. Just make sure you redeem your points before you cancel. And you'll get the free product of the month if you place that order before the 15th, and it's a 125 point value order. So the 3 ways that you can do doTERRA: you can live it where you are a customer, you're just using it in your home, sharing with your family, really getting into the lifestyle. If you share, so if you want to have your own class like this, or you refer new friends and family to us that are new to doTERRA, we'll always reward you. This is a great way to get your products paid for too. You really only need about 3 people that are consistently ordering each month to get your own oils paid for. So this is a great way, like if you're already thinking about a couple of people you know that would love this lifestyle and benefit from them. And then building is what I do, where I've been able to help people empower themselves, get healthier. I have this community that I love being a part of. I'm able to supplement my income, and pretty soon I'm about to go full-time with doTERRA. So it took me a little bit to get here, but I also wasn't in the beginning like trying to just totally go all in with doTERRA. I was just kind of doing like a class here or there. So now that I'm full force into it, I can just see myself now as being full-time doTERRA, part-time massage therapist. And it's just a great way to help and empower people, but also have that financial freedom. So if you have any other questions or anything, let me know. Reach out to me. I can nerd out on this all day, and I hope that you were able to learn something new today. So thanks so much for tuning in, and reach out with any questions or to get your kit. Cool, Anna. I'm gonna, I'll give you the recording of this. So if you want to share it with anybody, I don't know if anyone else was trying to hop on and had any issues or anything, but I will post the recording in that Facebook group too.